If you're in financial hell, debt stacking up, bills piling higher, and no end in sight, then we speak the same language. I've been there. You know, credit cards maxed out, loan sharks calling. Every morning felt like war, right? But let me tell you right now, there's a way out. And for me, it was one scalping strategy that changed everything. Back in 2020, I was completely fucked, over 50K in debt, jobless, barely surviving of scraps. I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't living, I was just existing. Until one night I was on YouTube and searched the same thing you probably have to get here: how to make money online fast. And that rabbit hole led me to crypto and then eventually to scalping. So scalping, you probably got some idea of what it is if you're here. But for those of you that don't, it's small, fast trades for fast profits, right? So you might be in for a couple of seconds in a trade, maybe a couple of minutes, maybe a couple of hours, okay? It's not like a long-term investment where you buy today and in 10 years' time you take your money out. You're buying now, and maybe by the time you take your lunch break, you're taking your money out, okay? So I became obsessed with this, and I studied everything I could find related to this. Things like price action, support and resistance zones, RSI indicators, MACDs, candle patterns, all that like textbook stuff, you've probably, read about it or seen a lot about it online already if you're here listening to this, right? But after months of failure, I saw the truth, and what, it's the awful truth, the inconvenient truth, the truth that nobody wants to tell you, is that it's all bullshit. It's all crap because it's all indicators that are from the past. It's not indicators that are from the future. It's not even indicators of what's happening in the present. So how can you make a trade on something that tells you what happened in the past but not in the future? So, for me, every YouTube guru and Twitter clown was promising, moon bags and bull runs while the market was basically bleeding out. And for me, it became like a comedy routine watching these guys online, screaming that alt season's on while the market's completely dumping, after, Trump and Elon, break up. You see it all collapse in front of their faces, and 5 minutes before they were screaming about how XRP is going to $11. And they're selling you hopium, not facts. And a sudden spike up doesn't mean that they're right, because as soon as the asset nosedives into the abyss and takes your gains with it, you're fucked, okay? And you're in serious trouble. And over the years, I lost count of how many times I got burned, and basically, decided pretty quickly that I had to change what I was doing and stop listening to these guys, right? So I deleted everything in my brain that I thought I knew, everything that I thought I had learned from these people. And I'd even paid for courses, like expensive courses, a couple $100. One was even like a little bit over $1,000. And basically that just cost me money in the long run, okay? So with a full brain wipe, I started again, and with just basically one question: if charts and indicators don't work, what is actually moving the market? And for me, the answer, it's really obvious. Like this thing is not a living, breathing thing. It doesn't decide where it wants to go. Like Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP or Doge, it doesn't decide where it wants to go. It doesn't have a brain. It doesn't have feelings. It's there. The value of the asset is there, dictated by people, you and me, investors, retailers. We decide where the market goes, right? So the market is a war between buyers and sellers, right? Real people making real trades with real money. And if you can understand where they're going to win or lose, you can ride the way to profit, okay? So step one to make a proper trade, to make a real scalp, is that you need to educate your brain with real financial knowledge, okay? Not hype. Learn what's actually happening in the world. Okay, central banks, oil prices, interest rates, tariffs, US foreign policy, Chinese exports, wars in Russia and Africa and the Middle East, and all of this, right? I know it sounds boring, but it's the key to knowing why the market is moving before it actually moves, okay? Now, step two is is this. It's what you're looking at, what I'm filming right here. This is the liquidation heat map. And this is not available on an exchange. So if you're on your crypto exchange and you want to find this indicator, this chart, you're not going to find it there. And there's a very good reason for that. Because it's the one tool that flips everything, okay? It shows you where the liquidity is, right? Where traders are getting wrecked. It's gonna tell you where the market is going because that's where the whales and exchanges go to feast, right? Now, it's not magic. It's not luck. It's just pure logic, right? I trade with the whales now, not against them. I follow the heat, I scalp in the direction of the pain, and I get paid because of it. And that's the strategy that got me out of financial hell. And I teach it in one video. No BS, no fluff, just the core of what works. It's $5, that's it. The price of a Pepsi. Not a $1,000 webinar or some Discord group full of fake flexes. It's just a strategy that took me from drowning to breathing. And if you want to learn my secret on how to do a scalp or day trade with this strategy, then scan the QR code and sign up to get my video. Okay, so this course is lightning fast. It doesn't waste your time with buying indicators custom-made things that you're going to install on your Trading View app. I mean, that's just all snake oil, think about it. Why would you waste hundreds of dollars on courses related to Elliott wave theory or fair value gaps and all that other nonsense, which only shows what the market did in the past? Those are lagging indicators. It's not real. And I'm being completely honest here. It's just hot air and they're to fuck with your brain. It's there to psych you out, there to trip you up, there to fuck you over, okay? People selling that fairy dust to you have no proof that they know what they're doing. They're not driving Range Rovers and Bentleys. They're in their mum's granny flat, selling you junk. I'm teaching you one thing and one thing only, how to study the future of the market by knowing what other investors are doing right now. And that's it. And at $5, I'm basically giving it away for free. That $5 is basically like you just give me a tip for being nice, right? And honest. So that's all I'm asking for in return. Now, I started my journey with $50 and I flipped it into $90 in 30 minutes. The first time I really sat down and paid attention to the heat map and did this the right way, okay? So after that first successful trade, I waited and studied more, and I sat here in front of the heat map and decided that I wasn't going to take a trade until I knew exactly where the market was going, because the heat map is telling me where it's going, okay? It shows you exactly where the money is, where the liquidity is, whether it's up, whether it's down in the market. You know where it is from this heat map because this is showing you a cluster of where the liquidity is. And I did it again, right? I sold everything that I didn't need. I emptied out my garage, I emptied out my house, and all the liquidity that I had got from my assets, I then poured into my crypto account and scaled up my trades. Before I was making $50 trades, then I was making $500 trades. I pretty soon started setting my goal from a $500 trade, had to turn a profit of $1,500. And sometimes that happens within minutes. Sometimes, on a good day, that can happen within seconds if there's really hot liquidity sitting there and you know where to take it, all right? And this is not like you're in the casino and you're just throwing it all on the table and hoping that the casino is gonna lose and you're gonna win. This is smart, right? And after doing this, I've become debt free, and I can spend my days chilling out, and sipping coffee, smoking cigars, and sit back and wait while the market just prints money for me. This is what this is all about. The reason why we want to be investors, the reason why we want to make money is to live a happy life, right? Now, it pulled me out, and I believe it can for you too, and I think you can relate to my story and what I'm telling you. So please go and click that QR code, take the course and learn how to trade smart, not hopelessly sitting there praying for the market to reverse in your favor when you've made a massive fucking mistake, right? Start making real money, get out of debt and start living life. And I know you can understand what I'm saying, and I believe you also dream about what I've dreamt of.